Hi there everyone, I'm interviewing Mick Sneesby, our PL1 goalie for Back Chat this time. And to make him feel right at home, I will be in a goalie kit. Mick Sneesby, PL1 goalie, welcome to Back Chat.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
How you do anything in this is beyond me. I don't know. Let me throw this away. Oh, okay. So, you've been with Glebe for how long?
This will be season 4?
Okay.
4 or 5.
Okay, I didn't realise it was that long.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Feels like a lifetime though.
Well, you're certainly already called the GOAT, so there's obviously a clear reason why. So tell me a little bit about your childhood growing up. Were you a sporty kid, sporty family? Where did you live? Where were you growing up? Brothers or sisters?
Yeah, absolutely. Only child.
Okay.
Single mother family, brought up just outside of Cessnock. So cue the Cessnock jokes.
Yeah.
Not maybe not the most privileged upbringing, but sport was really a solid foundation.
Yeah, wow.
It was really important to me. Wasn't very good at school, and again, sport was that constant for me.
Yeah.
So grew up playing cricket, rugby league, hockey, obviously.
Yeah.
And then anything I could at school.
Yeah.
Got into anything I could, but probably didn't become a serious hockey player until maybe 13 or 14.
Well, talk us through that journey. Like, what made you then choose hockey as a sport to kind of tinker around in initially?
Well, Mum was a hockey player. That's a big influence. Goalkeeper also.
Yeah.
And just playing every sport that was going, I think hockey just become the better path forward, I guess. You start to get to a point where you've got to choose what's going forward. So rugby league dropped out pretty early.
Okay.
Obviously, I thought at the time maybe a bit more longevity in hockey. So yeah, rugby league went and cricket stayed in the summer for quite a while. But that's the period I got pretty serious about hockey.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you, I mean, I know that you said that your mum's a goalie, but how did you choose it because that was the only thing, or is it because you couldn't actually trap a ball on the fly when you were playing the game?
Yeah, I'd like to say I was a really handy field player. I was probably serviceable at best.
Okay.
And I was the better goalkeeper for sure. But obviously, Mum being a goalkeeper, the gear you just pad up just for the fun of it, and your mates would hit at you. My gear was a little bit different to that at the time. I was still cricket pads.
Okay, yeah.
But it was just fun mucking around. And then I think it's almost, once you become a goalkeeper, not that you get pigeonholed, but it becomes a supply and demand issue. And a lot of the time someone needs a goalkeeper, right. So you kind of get stuck there by default, and then...
So everyone said no, and then it's the last kid that turned up late?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
that
exactly.
Gets the kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, I did actually ask ChatGPT for some goalie jokes, but let me throw these at you, and you can rate them 1 to 5, okay? Okay. What's the difference between a hockey goalie and a brick wall?
No idea.
The brick wall doesn't spend 70 minutes yelling at its defenders.
It's not very funny. It's 100% true.
So bad. Okay. I heard goalies have the best memory on the team. They tell you about every goal they should have saved from 12 years ago. No?
Again,
Is that even worse?
not very funny, but it's probably true. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if it gets better. What's the first thing a goalie does after conceding a goal? Points at the defenders. I've never seen you do that.
Again,
Do goalies do that?
No, I verbally do that.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, so it all just is a blur. Okay, last one. Let's see if I can redeem myself. Goalkeeping seems to be the perfect job. You spend the whole game diving around dramatically, and if you make one unbelievable save, everyone forgets the 3 easy ones you let in. Because you are on the player's player a lot.
Feels like the opposite, let me tell you. It's definitely the opposite. I feel like as a goalkeeper, you're judged by your mistakes.
Oh, okay. You do personally, or it's something that you feel spectators and other team players direct that at you?
I feel like every goalkeeper feels that way.
Yeah, right.
Maybe everyone else doesn't, but I think every goalkeeper feels that way.
Yeah. I mean, you're the last line of defence, but I mean, you sort of forget that it's gone through every other person before it kind of comes to you.
Yeah, I also think that's part of your job as a goalkeeper to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, right.
You want to be at the back. You want to control the game as much as possible, and you might only get some days you may not touch the ball, but that doesn't mean you can't make an impact on the game. So how do you do that? You control your defence. You try and get them to be proactive. You try and be their second set of eyes.
Actually, I wanted to explore that a little bit because there are games when goalies you see not having a lot of action. So in those moments, what's going through? I mean, you were saying controlling the game. Walk us through in more detail about how you do that. What's it look like?
Yeah, I think it's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
But I think you have to go into the game with the concept of you can't control how many balls get hit at you. And the old saying, you control the controllables, right?
Right,
so what can you control? You can control how you communicate to the team. You can control other things like just the mood. When things don't go our way, am I going to go and give that guy a spray, or am I going to go, it's all good? Yeah,
right.
And I'm pretty good at both, and there's different times to do both.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, it's positivity's the key, right? And sometimes you almost just need to think you're the coach on the field. Give your team an advantage by taking that coach out onto the field and walking around and just controlling what our players are doing, what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, because you see often people shouting out, talk to each other, and you're really expecting the goalie to be kind of watching the play. It must be hard to concentrate for that long because you really have to be on the whole time, whereas sometimes you can, I guess you can sort of switch off, in some parts, but goalies, you're always watching, listening, making sure the players are talking to each other. How does that, from an energy perspective, affect you?
I think it can be. It can be very hard to keep involved the whole game, but the key is to keep involved the whole game. I think once you stop that communication, maybe we concede a goal, everyone's heads drop, and then my head drops, and it takes me 5 minutes before I go, hang on, I've got to talk.
Yeah.
That's when we're weak, and that's when we're vulnerable. So, and me as an individual. So by talking the whole game, communicating the whole game, just trying to be proactive, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that it's a momentum.
Yeah.
It's a momentum. So the more you do it, the better you are at it. The less you do it, the worse you get.
Were you that kind of kid though? Were you the kid growing up that was always a bit bossy? I'll use that word because that's what gets bantered around when you're little.
Far from
but
it.
Were you the bossy kid?
Far from it.
Well, that's a nice segue into how did your journey from juniors to seniors sort of work, where you would have had to have become the bossy sort of person and having that confidence. So walk us through your experience when you started all the way through to your PL1 days.
Right, so I broke into second grade in Newcastle probably about 13, 14, for not the greatest side, but I had some great mentors around me, some really good, more experienced players, and so particularly in that squad.
By this stage, you've only been playing for, what, a couple of years?
Properly playing,
wow.
Yeah, a couple of years. Yeah.
Like, were you the only one that was available, or was it literally they saw the talent in you and thought, oh, this kid's got some real spark, we can kind of mould him into something?
No, I think, again, probably a bit of a supply and demand issue. But at the same time, I think I was proving I was good enough to do that. By the end of that season, I'd had a game at 14, I'd played in their Premier League.
Wow.
The hardest adjustment is, believe it or not, it's not the speed of the ball. It's not that sort of stuff. I mean, the 14-year-old kids I'm playing with, they can all hit a ball pretty hard too. Sure, it's faster, but it's the mental game. It's the approach. It's the just maturity. It's being around men. It probably forces you to grow up a little bit quicker.
Yeah, so tell us that. So you're 14, you get put into PL2. How was that adjustment in terms of being so young and then being in quite a senior team? I mean, how did your teammates help you? How was your coach or manager kind of helping you with that transition?
Again, a fantastic group around me, really experienced, which helped me because I feel like they may have had to babysit me. They didn't have to babysit 5 other guys as well. On the field, I feel like I adjusted pretty quickly. I feel like I was good enough to do that and be in the team, and I was in a very experienced team that really helped me on and off the field. Off the field was probably the hardest to adjust to because we are talking about a teenage boy hanging out with men, and you do get forced to grow up a little bit quicker than what you probably would.
Right. And what does that look like? What do you mean by that? Is it, I mean, I know the language gets a little bit colourful in the dugouts.
This was a different era too, remember?
Right. Yeah, no, fair enough, yeah.
So a lot of hard men.
Yeah.
Old school men.
Right.
And it was good for me.
Yeah.
I did grow up without a father figure, so that was maybe a little bit of yearning for that.
Yeah, right.
So that was good, but yeah, certainly the first couple of years of being a child playing with men wasn't easy, particularly off the field.
So you're 14, you've come from juniors, you're then playing your first senior game. You have to go from being a non-bossy kid to then being the bossy person on the field. Was it like that, or was it the other players kind of taking charge a little bit more and allowing you to kind of grow into the role?
It's a great question. I would say it's both.
Okay.
It's both, I think. I think I certainly didn't go out there in my first game and have control of everything.
Yeah, right.
Maybe by the end of the season I was starting to figure out what it's about and how to do it. But I would say my job for the first year or two was probably stand there and stop balls.
Yeah, right. And how did they, because I mean, it just goes to show, and we often talk about the junior development, like when they make the transition into seniors, like how do you provide that environment where it's not possible to go from junior to and then act like a senior as though you were somehow this veteran player? How important was it for that ability to kind of allow you to grow and make mistakes and have the good games and the bad games so that you can learn from those?
Extremely important.
Yeah.
It's such a hard transition, particularly in hockey, because you're coming from juniors where you're most likely the best player on your team, or one of the best players on your team. Yeah. You transition into seniors, you're most likely the weakest player or one of the weakest players in your team. Physically, that will come. You're selected there for a reason, so you have the skills to do that. You have the ability to do that, and it's just a transition.
Yeah.
Mentally is the harder transition, because that's a hard transition for a teenager, to go, I'm the big dog one moment, and all of a sudden everything I'm doing out there is wrong. Feels that way anyway. So it's a hard transition, and I think it has to just be a transition. It's a gradual process that can't be expected to happen instantly.
And being in PL1, you've seen some of our young guns coming through. Do you feel that we do that? Like, we help these young kids allow themselves to learn and grow into the team, or are we a little bit tough on them initially?
I think we do a great job. I think we do a fantastic job, particularly because most of the juniors coming through don't get thrown right in the deep end. They'll go up the up through the grades. And by what I've seen with our lower grades, there's experienced players scattered right through that. So
that's actually so true.
You always feel like they're in good hands. And I'm sure if that player excels in 3 weeks, they're thrown up the grade, and then that might be back down 2 weeks later. Who knows? But I think we do a good job in allowing them to develop at their own rate.
So if you go back in time and go back to your 14-year-old self, what do you think the PL2 coach and manager saw in you that said, hey, let's get this kid and bring him in as goalie? And I know that you'll say supply and demand, but I think if you look really closely at yourself, there was something about you. Can you see that now in hindsight, that what that spark was that you had, that someone saw in you?
I think at that point in time, I was extremely athletic.
Right.
That was probably the the end of it.
And were you this height at 14?
Close. Probably had a growth spurt around that time, I guess. Grew into a similar frame, and I guess that was it. And then the rest kind of took care of itself, I guess.
And how many seasons were you in before you went into PL1?
Maybe another season.
So about 2, you think?
Yeah, maybe another season, and then Premier League in Newcastle, which I fell into. Again, we weren't a particularly strong team, which was great for my development as a goalkeeper at that point in time. But a fantastic group of guys that could just nurture that young talent. Again, a little bit hardened maybe, but that was good for me.
Yeah, sure.
Probably by 18 I hadn't moved to Sydney, but my hockey had moved to Sydney.
Oh, okay. I'm going to ask about that in a second. So when you're this young kid, I mean, these men are flying balls at you really fast. Were you naturally good with reactions? Because you do have to kind of be so in tune with what's happening in front of you and react really quickly. Was that something that came naturally to you as a kid anyway, I guess?
I guess so. Just playing so much sport. Every sport I played, I wanted to play every position, do everything. That was kind of my thing, that I just wanted to be maybe a jack of all trades. But I guess, a lot of wicket keeping in cricket, a lot of convertible skills that probably helped me. So was it natural or was it learnt? I don't know, but I did have that skill by that time.
Yeah, wow. And can you remember the first time, you had that ball coming at speed? Like, did that freak you out in that moment, like not realising how fast these things go, or by that stage you're like, oh, this was pretty, you're accustomed to it?
Yeah, it doesn't so much happen in a game.
Yeah.
It's the training sessions.
Right.
As you've probably seen, goalkeepers can be a bit of a sitting duck at training sometimes, and that does battle harden you a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you do start to doubt yourself, because you're like, this is the league above now.
How did you end up in Sydney?
It was part of the grand plan, I guess.
Okay.
The Premier League in the state is Sydney.
Yeah.
It was always on the cards. I did have some let's call them trials, training sessions with a couple of different clubs.
Yeah.
But ended up at Ryde.
Wow.
And that basically was a bit of a left field move.
Yeah.
I'd obviously impressed in the Newcastle comp with someone that was playing at the club.
Okay.
And got a call from the president, and then played my first season there. I think halfway through the season, I went from second grade to first grade.
Okay. And so how long were you with Ryde for?
15 years.
So what made the move to Glebe happen?
Opportunity.
Okay.
Opportunity. I won't say a first grade gig opened up, but I was playing second grade at Ryde. We're talking the COVID period too.
Right.
My professional life had kind of taken off a little bit, so I did step back a little bit and then got the hunger to come back. I guess it was a little bit of a supply and demand issue again. But I definitely was very keen to come to the club. I'd always really admired the club, especially in my early years at Ryde. Glebe were one of the powerhouses.
Yeah, right.
Fierce competitors. Such a traditional style of hockey, but the pride in the jersey was the big thing, to be honest. I thought that's actually something I'd like to be part of. And the chance to maybe rebuild the squad a little bit, maybe the chance to come in and be that team that's in the finals every year. Has that gone to plan? Well, we're closer than what we were. I haven't achieved it, but I think we've made some steps forward.
Yeah, there's plenty of life left in you, that's for sure, man. It feels like you've been here forever.
We're doing this on a Sunday morning. It doesn't feel like there's plenty of life left in me. And
just for the viewers, we had a Moorebank game for PL1 last night, which was a cracker, which Mick was a really big part of the result. So given that you've been around for a long time now, you've played quite a few first grade games. I forget the milestone that you achieved last year. Was it
300?
Yes. Oh, that's a lot. So, I mean, there's a lot of games that you can probably look back on and think, man, I absolutely caned it in that game. And you've come off and you're feeling really proud of yourself. And I'm sure there are games where you've gone, oh, that was really rubbish, and I feel bad about how things turned out. Is there a game that comes to mind where it was either a really satisfying win where you as a goalie were like, we stuck it to the opposition, or you saved some amazing goals and it won the game, or whatever the kind of criteria, but is there one game that kind of sticks out for you that, you've always that was a really great moment for me?
It's pretty hard to go past a 2015 premiership.
Okay, walk us through that.
We'd finished the season in 5th. We were, apart from myself, a bunch of young guns. Myself and maybe a couple of others.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of young guns. A lot of them are the names you see on TV all the time now.
Wow.
They were exceptionally young. We had a fantastic coach who really instilled belief in us, I guess. We were allowed to play really run and gun hockey. We were allowed to be creative.
What does that mean? Like, to the person who doesn't play, what does that look like on the field when you say that?
It's about removing the fear of failure.
Right, okay.
So just that proactive mindset of, it doesn't matter if I make a mistake, I just need to do more positive things than I make mistakes and I've had a good game. And those positive things are not necessarily measurable. They change the momentum of the game. They can do other things. It doesn't have to be putting a ball in the roof of the goal and getting the goal. It's so much deeper than that it's just a way you can change momentum, or you can just show the other team that you're not afraid of them.
Yeah, right. And so you won? So
we
Who were you playing in that game?
Moorebank.
Oh.
Moorebank. So a victory against Moorebank's always sweet.
Yeah.
Again, another club that I really admire, but that makes a victory so much more powerful against them. 2-2 in 2-2 at the end of the game. We had a little bit of a hiccup with maybe 30 seconds to go. But yeah, very, very early, almost straight off the hit-off in extra time, we put the goal away. And yeah, it was pretty special.
Okay. And In those moments, like grand final moments, playing a formidable opponent, do you get nervous, or is it just you just take the game on the day and whatever happens on the day, you're in the moment? Like, what's running through your body in those games?
There's, I'd like to say there's no nerves. There's nerves. I feel like the lead up to it is the most nervous. Once you're out there, it's a different scenario. There's certainly nerves. And again, it's all about mindset. If you're willing to go out there and run towards the danger, as some might say, then and remove the fear of failure. Not a catchphrases here, but those sort of things will really it removes a lot of the nerves once you're out there, because you feel like you're on the front foot all the time.
I mean, there must be so much adrenaline running through your system that I get that that's going to make you really alert, but it also means that you can make like poor judgment calls. Like, how do you balance that with like the nerves, the excitement, the adrenaline, where you might go out too fast or too early, and how do you kind of get that balance of still being in the moment and not letting that kind of take over how you're feeling?
It's definitely a double-edged sword. It can go either way. At that point in my career, I probably didn't manage it all that well. But in the later years, you do learn breathing techniques and stuff like that, just to try and keep yourself. There's no particular technique I use or anything like that. It's just taking those moments to just go, you have to be on here, you have to be switched on mentally. No particular techniques, but you definitely learn to manage it better as years go on. Yeah,
because I mean, it's the same with the players too. Like, you know, when they're really like so excitable in the game, I mean, you know, there's all the mistraps because you're sort of too focused on the outcome rather than being in that moment of what's happening to me in that moment, because you're sort of too focused on kind of wanting to win a game. And that can kind of then get ahead of you a little bit. That's an amazing experience. Well, what's the opposite? Like, can you think of a game where like you just felt, I don't know, not responsible for the outcome, like a negative outcome, but where you just sort of felt like you didn't play your best and where you really took it to heart?
Yeah, I think to some extent you always, a loss you always feel responsible in some way, shape or form. It's all about managing, again, the control the controllables. There's been plenty of games where I look back maybe every week and say, I could have got that if I'd done that.
Right.
The key is you just can't dwell on it and just be positive about it and just have the mindset of, well, I'm just going to try and do more good than I do harm and think of that as a good game.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out that way, but it is all a process.
This season has been a tough one for PL1. If we look back now, or even like last season, it was... is there a game that you would want to do over? I asked this of Campo as a coach, but as a goalie, is there a game that you think, oh man, if we could play that again, this is what I would do differently? That comes to mind?
Everyone with an L next to it. None in particular for me individually. As a team, for sure. But like I said, I think a goalkeeper's naturally inclined to think that you always could have done better. I mean, our goal is to achieve basically the unachievable. So you do have to be a little bit hard on yourself, but I think if you don't take it too far, that's healthy. I'm just stressed in this, and I do not know how you can move and be as agile as you are out there. What makes a good goalie in the 21st century game? Yeah, that's a fantastic question.
Thanks.
And that's something I would have... You might be able to ask this question to 100 different people and get 100 different answers. And I would have answered it very differently 10, 20 years ago. The penalty corner is such an important piece now, so that does change a lot of the dynamics. There's definitely an aspect of the physical presence of the goalkeeper, how agile they are, how strong they are.
Because can you do the
fast.
splits?
Not so well anymore. Again, I would have answered that
'Cause, like,
question
some,
maybe
like-
differently.
You know, because you've got to cover a really large surface area. So, I mean, I see you out there and it's like how you get into those positions is now I can have a different kind of appreciation for your
Yeah.
abilities out there.
Yeah. It's a game that's evolved. So
Yeah.
I guess my answer probably is that what makes a good goalie is probably more about the mental aspect than the physical
Yeah, right.
aspect. When you get to a certain level, you have the ability to keep the ball out of the goals.
Yeah,
The physical
yeah,
ability
yeah,
to keep the ball out of the goals. The mental ability is something that can vary a lot.
And what is
top
that
level.
for a goalie?
It's reading the play.
Right.
It's staying switched on the whole game.
Right.
It's being positive. It's being proactive. It's being extremely resilient.
Yeah. So that is, I can see how you need to have that because it would be so easy to be crushed emotionally as a goalie.
Look, there's times where you're out there and there's nothing you can do. You might
Yeah.
get beaten 5-0 and 5
Yeah.
have blown the cobwebs out of the top of the goal.
Yeah.
On the flip side, there's other times you go out there and you keep your team in the
Yeah.
game, but 5 have hit you in the middle of the chest.
Yeah.
There's an element of luck in it, sure, but you control the controllables, and
Yeah.
you just have to
Yeah.
have that mindset.
I also think you got to have like this fearlessness because, you know, you and goalies go forward into the play. So is there an element of like really having to kind of have a lot of confidence in yourself, but also this fearlessness?
I guess so. Trust your equipment's probably the first bit of advice. There's a reason it's hard to walk in. There's a reason it's hard to get around in. It doesn't mean you won't get hurt.
Yeah.
There's-
Have you had some big, have you been hurt badly over the years?
I've been pretty lucky. I've been lucky.
Have you seen anything bad happen to a goalie? We love those stories of like,
Not so much. I did fracture my jaw around that 14 years old, straight through the helmet. But that's probably the only real serious one I've had. I always have the principle of if the closer to the play you are, the less chance you are of getting hurt. If I'm trying to smother a ball, the closer I am to it, it's going to hit me in the pads. If I'm far away, then it's going to get me somewhere where I don't want to get hit. So
yeah. So the shootouts are always really exciting. And walk us through your approach when you're sort of facing a shootout where it's you and just one other player. Like, how do you kind of psych them out?
Personally, and I'm pretty inexperienced with shootouts. Didn't grow up doing them. It was penalty strokes back then.
Yeah.
I've had a few in recent years. I guess the approach for me is not so much. I guess it's trying to make them do what they don't want to do.
Right.
So if you've got a player that you think's going to spin, you want to try and eliminate that so they go to the area that they don't want to go to. Other than that, it's a bit of a young man's game for a goalkeeper. It's stay on your feet as long as possible and stay in the play.
Okay.
But I think the key is make them do what they don't want to do.
You've got 2 children.
Yep.
Both of them play goalie.
Yep.
Your daughter Sophie, who's playing today against Rye, your old team, by sheer coincidence that we're here today. Your journey through your juniors, were you the rep player, played for state, played for the regions? Was that your journey?
No, absolutely not. Would make the local rep teams. Never any further, really. So coming through, never made a state team.
Yeah. Was that something that you always aspired to do, or you were like, I'm happy to do what I'm doing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was the goal. Didn't pan out.
Yeah.
I guess that's the start of the resilience building.
Totally true.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't. No, it wasn't my journey.
Your daughter Sophie, who is an amazing young woman, I have to say, she's a great goalie. She's playing for ML3. She's, 14, 15 now?
13.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's come as a surprise to me. Well, she's doing amazing.
Yeah.
She's into the state team. How do you help her? How do you mentor her? What advice are you giving her that you wish you had at that age? Because these are big deals when they're young.
Yeah.
So how are you helping and prepare her for these big tournaments? Because, I mean, they can be quite nerve-wracking and they're overwhelming for young kids.
Probably the best advice I give her is, again, control the controllables.
Right.
And trying to really instill that it's all a process. Part of that process may be you miss selection on a team. Part of that process is getting selection in the team. And whatever happens, just make the most out of it and get something out of it.
Right, yeah.
Is the big advice I probably give her. Because sometimes it's the hand you're dealt is not the one you want. But that you know, life gives you lemons. Make lemonade. So, you might as well get something positive out of it. And just trying to keep the love of the game as priority, I think is the absolute key. Because once it becomes a chore, then I feel like you're on the downward spiral. So,
but how do you do that? Like, you've been around long enough now, 300 games in PL1. Like, how do you keep that love of the game?
It's just there. It's not about keeping it. It's just there. The desire to compete is probably the biggest aspect, I guess, for me individually. And then we fall into a team where we're really trying to build something. It's probably hard to let that go. It's not something I've got to search for. It's just there.
Yeah. You just love it because you love the game. Yeah. I mean, Sophie's at that time when girls typically tend to drop out of sport.
Yep.
Teenage years is really hard, not only for hockey but for any sport. How are you helping your two daughters stay engaged in the sport and for Sophie to kind of stay engaged as she really heads into those kind of teenage years?
I think it's particularly hard in this day and age for teenage girls because there's so much competition. There's other sports that are available and that are quite attractive for the young athlete to participate in. It's never been an issue with my two girls to this point. They're very focused on hockey and no other sport.
Wow.
But you certainly do see around. Some of her friends have dropped out. Some of her friends are probably not that far off dropping out because they're elite at another sport. But I think what's great about hockey is just that it is a proper community. There's so many families around. Most of Soph's mates and Maddie's mates from as far back as we can remember are hockey mates. Yeah,
wow.
And that's a special thing. Yeah. So I guess while your friends are there, it's quite easy to stay involved, right?
Oh, we just won a goal. Yay, team! Your mum was a goalie. Yep. You're a goalie. Your two girls are goalies. What's the family dynamic? I mean, how proud must your mum be of you and her granddaughters?
Yeah, I think very. I know my wife Elise is extremely proud of them also.
Is she a hockey player?
No, not at all.
Oh, thank God there's somebody else around.
Not at all. So it can be quite frustrating for her having 3 goalie bags laid out amongst the carport and and the constant fixing goalie gear and purchasing goalie gear.
It's not cheap.
That's certainly not
cheap.
But yeah, extremely proud. I mean. You're proud of your family no matter what, but I think probably the drive is what it's ability's a gift, but having the drive and the passion to do it and actually really apply yourself to it, that's what's
amazing.
Yeah, that's what makes everyone the most proud, I think.
Mick, you're a great dad. You're a great goalie. So thank you so much. And thanks for back chatting with me.
Thank you. Well, I've got a little bit of a surprise for you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Shouldn't be worried. You'll be fine.
Okay. What do we need to do?
Just come this way.
Okay. Okay, I don't know. Do I need this?
You will.
Alrighty, let's do it. Right.
Oh yeah!
Damn it.
You look
This is too scary.
you're like a baby.
Don't hit me in the head. Yeah.
Oh, I want to ping one at the head.
Oh shit.
Oh.
That was going for my head.
You're at it. Here, I'll give you a hand.
How do you get? I win it. Oh God, a drag flick. I mean, I could have actually stopped that one, you know, but I was afraid of being hurt.
But you didn't.
I mean, you've got to be so brave. Oh, yeah!